It's been a long time since I last came from my most recent or from the only tournament review live stream that I've ever done. And now since I finally have the software to do it, I finally am ready to bring it in to you guys. What's going on, everybody? It's Maverick128 here, and welcome back to another tournament analysis review. Today, as you can tell from the description below, I am going to be doing a review of probably one of the most dominant clans in the history of Garden Warfare 2 and forever edged history, and made its statement and its reputation remain unparalleled and dominant to this day. And we're going to be reviewing the Zero Limits tournament, or just the 2020 summer tournament of Garden Warfare 2 in general. So, let's do this. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time now, and I'm so grateful that I were finally able to let this happen. And obviously, as you guys can tell, the most infamous way to do the review is to do the most infamous official round that had forever shown the world what zero limits is all about. We're going to be going back all the way to 2020 of the summer, and we're going to be taking a look at the Zero Limits versus Vice Club, the official tournament match, which is round 5 of the summer tournament in Welcome Mat. Let's begin. I hope the quality is going to be extremely good for all of you guys to see. I'm putting the quality to as much as I possibly can, and I will put it on full screen so that you guys can all see in all of its former glory. So, if anybody does not know the rules of Welcome Mat, it's basically Team Vanquish, but the difference is that there are no variants. You're just gonna have to stick with the base variants as if it were Battle for Neighborville. No upgrades and no no upgrades, no different variants, no different abilities. It's just pure Team Vanquish, where every single revive you make reduces a point, and the first team to get over 50 points is the winner. And this is an official, so obviously you guys need to win the game mode in order to score. Well, I know, I'm looking at the people in chat, and I'm aware that Vice is still a clan Leviathan, by the way. Vice recently just was remade, but I'm not even joking, Leviathan. Vice is actually back. I should probably adjust the screen. I think it's a bit big. Let me go ahead and readjust it for you guys to see. Let me put it here. Here we are. Yeah, it's a bit too big. Let me adjust the screen real quick so that you guys can see properly. Oh, Vice disbanded again? Jeez, that's kind of upsetting. Let's hope it's fixed now. So, as you can tell right now, we are currently at round 1 of the, this is currently round 1 of the, round 1 of the Welcome Map playlist. The first map is indeed Z-Tech Factory. So, obviously, this map can be a bit of a hit or miss because, obviously, you know, there's portals, and since it's Team Vanquish, and it's really hard to rack up Vanquishes or to get a lead in the mode, you technically have to, like, rely on your team to stick together. So, for those of you guys who are new here, then are just, you know, getting along to what this tournament is all about, which I'm pretty sure most of my viewers in chat kind of knew. They kind of probably know, so I don't need to explain. But for those of you who are new, the objective here is to win the game modes. This isn't about your typical pub stomp where you just dominate the lobby and get a lot of vanquishes. But in this one, you technically have to work together with your team. And obviously, as you can tell from the score, you can assume these games are going to be long as hell. Which is going to be relatable because every single time, you're going to be making sure no plants or no zombies get the revive so that the vanquishes will not remain, like, you know, verified, because every single revive you make will make sure you don't get a score. So as you can tell, staying grouped together is a very important aspect. Imps, on the other hand, are definitely going to be the bread and butter for the zombies, because every grab nade play they make is definitely going to be one for the team, since they're going to be able to call out the strategy that a grab will be tossed, and eventually all the zombies will immediately spam in to try to get as many vanquishes as possible, so that none of the plants will be able to, like, fight back and at least regain the ground so that they can revive it. This is gonna be a very, very long. This is gonna be like a very long game, and this is just round 1 of 6. Keep that in mind, you guys. So as you can see right now, so as you can tell right now from the feed, currently looks like some of the PCs already made some feeds. Like, look carefully on the top right corner. I'm very sorry if the quality of the stream is bad because the person who is streaming it has a bit of some decent internet. You can tell from the feeds alone, that's where you guys also have to make your pushes, because if you can get like at least a good amount of picks, that's when you're going to be able to make sure you guys all charge in so that they don't have any time to react and try to regain your ground and make sure they, how do I say it? They don't get the revives back. So unfortunately, looks like Vice was able to get at least a good play in, but a nade had been played, and unfortunately only a torch has been captured. So the plant's advantage is that apparently Torchwood is the only variant that will be added in the Welcome Map players, and he's going to be the only character for plants that will definitely provide elemental damage, albeit fire damage. Whereas the zombies, it's just impossible. They just have to do like pure damage, and they have to be careful with that. For mechs, on the other hand, if you're gonna be playing as an imp, you technically want to like synergize your nades so that you can get a Missile Madness play and rack up, like as you can see what Fridge is doing right now. Obviously, the flowers are gonna be the main aspect that you need to take down, because every single time you get a flower down, you can get a free how do I say it? Like a free no fast revive. But be careful, since if you're gonna be an imp, make sure you don't get KO'd like while you're in the mech, because if you do, then you're gonna lose the mech, and that's gonna be a permanent vanquish that's gonna be added for the plant score. It's gonna be, obviously this is gonna be like a lot of camping and a lot of team oriented composition. You're gonna be hiding behind cover a lot, since it's gonna be literally a group effort here. Imps are definitely gonna be the most targeted for sure, besides Brains, because as you can tell, if you know the current state of what Garden 2 is now and also the meta, you know how Brains are pretty obnoxious nowadays. So, as you can tell right now, obviously you do not want to respond because it will just give them a free point. And the trick for every single time somebody gets KO'd, you want to make sure they don't have like, it's basically a danger if they dare to revive any of the fallen comrades. If you guys want me to at least skip through highlights of this official, I can happily do so, because I don't tend to like stay on this for like a very long time. And yeah, that's the thing. If you guys have your mechs, make sure to have at least maybe a nade or like at least one imp in their base form, so they can at least call in a nade, and then a Missile Madness or All-Star Spam or a Brains charge will definitely make the most value of it. As you can tell right now, everything is so camping oriented, and yeah, there's a lot of camping involved, and it's kind of annoying to deal with. But like obviously this is Team Vanquish, and I don't think there's no way that in this version, or like in this stage of the clan match history, they're never ever going to return back to the roots again. They're probably just going to stick to mixed mode and turf friendlies mostly for the official tournaments. I doubt they're going to go back to this traditional system where it's basically a different mode per round. If you guys want me to give you a summary, round 1 of the tournament was I believe round 1 for us was round 1 was Gnome Bomb. Round 2 was crap, what was it? I think it was it Vanquish confirmed? No teams ever use Brains in Welcome Mat? Yeah. Well, obviously Brains is horrible because it's bad for pushing, so obviously no Brains has to have been used, but I don't know if there's any that used Brains though, to be fair. As you can tell right now, this is going to be extremely long, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a few frames of the game. So as you can tell, if you use a Missile Madness, obviously knock out the freaking roses and campers, and make sure to target the flowers, because remember, you keep the flowers alive, they'll revive, and that could be the same thing for scientists too. Because healers actually are pretty much deadly, since they can literally revive your team, and everything a Vanquish you do will literally be in vain, since they're going to be back in full health and condition. So, you gotta make sure you guys stick together. A mech can hold his ground by himself on one-on-one fights, but if you're up against a team of plants, you definitely want to have the entire team back behind you. And you better make sure you react fast, which is understandable. Let me go ahead and rewind to a few parts. So we're gonna rewind up to the 850 mark. As you can tell, zombies are able to hold their ground and make sure no plants are able to vanquish them or get them any revives. Honestly, Team Vanquish friendlies or officials were like the longest time. Also, if Astros is watching, I'm very sorry that I'm showing this because I'm pretty sure he's been there when it happened. I can't wait. I can't wait to go to the highlight, to this main highlight of the stream. I kind of wish that would be the thumbnail. There's been a lot of like a lot of new players ever since, but honestly, this version of ZL was definitely like the strongest we've ever had. Honestly, in this version of ZL, it's still pretty strong, but we won't ever deny that this version literally changed the clan scenery as it is today. We literally put the entire clan world on edge. It was amazing how we were able to pull all this off. Obviously, the gimmick in Z-Tech is definitely Zombies on the move, so you can definitely try to use Zomba as an advantage to see if you can make yourself as a giant cover. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, if an imp gets fire damage, it's cooks. You'll see soon, Rash. I don't wanna add in the highlight. Yeah, I don't wanna have spoilers. Although I think the thumbnail might have spoiled it already. So yeah, since also if you are playing Welcome Mat, if you suck so much or like just get killed a lot, you get a slight health boost. So a mech now has 440 health, which is basically you're basically adding a total of 90 additional health points to a mech. So you better be careful if you vanquish your enemies too much, because they could have more health than usual, and you're probably going to be complaining, how the hell do they have more health? But because this is Welcome Mat. So a Missile Madness is now being fired. You better make the Missile Madnesses count and make sure to fire at every single plant you see. Like a horde right there. Like you see that nade play, that shot's tossed. That was a perfect toss and a perfect instance on how you have to take the initiative to using the nade plays. Like here again, like Fridge was able to get a second nade play, but unfortunately nobody capitalized. So obviously, you know, mistakes can be made, and of course, you have to make sure you call them out, because that's the thing with imps. Let me rewind it again. You have to get good nade plays like these, and then you gotta immediately count as many people as possible and make sure you guys capitalize, because gravity grenades only tend to last, I think, maybe 5 seconds after its collision. So obviously, you gotta make sure you get the feeds ready to go, but make sure to get it safely, because sometimes they could toss like a beam bomb or like a butter to prevent you. That's basically like their counterfeit, so that they don't get naded. They don't get, you know, defeated. So as you can tell, unfortunately, Starlight, who used to play for ZL, she unfortunately failed to get Fridge. That's the thing. You have to make sure you get the healers before they get the revives, because otherwise it's gonna be a long day. Like, look at how many revives they already racked up. Like, from 45 to 43 to 43 to 41, respectively. And obviously, you gotta pursue and make sure you gotta pressure them the moment they get like a couple of KO'd people, because if you don't, then they'll have the opening they need to get a revive. And that's the thing. You gotta prevent them from getting revives for both sides. Like, look at them. They're already pressuring them right now. So obviously, you want to make sure they don't get the space, and you want to make sure they don't get the revives in the safe side. You want to technically make them, like, going after a revive is a danger. As you can tell, first game is hella close and also somewhat hella long and tiring if you were to do this in a friendly, which I hope we're not going to do it, because it's downright painful. So I'm taking a look at it right now. Hello everybody, welcome. It's been a while since I last did a tournament review, so I really want to make this a good one. So, as you can tell, the score is still remaining in the 40s. ZL with a 2-point lead. As you can tell, sometimes you want to go undercover so that you can at least get like a sneaky nade in there and definitely be able to take them by surprise. Unfortunately, that one didn't work out since they were all spread out, so that's the downside of that nade. So obviously, sometimes being a bit of an undercover agent could somehow work, since imps have a very small hitbox and they're the most mobile. And once you have a mech, obviously the strategy for imps is you definitely want to kind of keep one mech in Welcome Mat normally, and then you leave one at base, so that you're able to get a how do I say it? You're able to get like a nade play at least. I don't know if ZL had 3 imps during this. As you can tell, they're already pressuring, because you technically want to make sure you have every single teammate's back, regardless of how many times they're getting shot. And if you're an imp, you want to make sure you eject your mech so that you don't get like it's a permanent KO. So we're gonna go. Oh, okay. So yeah. So unfortunately, Fritz has been KO'd. So unfortunately, that's a free vanquish for for Vice right there, and it is unrevivable. And look how close it is. This is how scary the game can really get. Like if you're doing this in an official. This is literally a tie game. Who do you expect would win in the first round? Like it's literally edge of your seat action. And if you can get a flower and you can get a good nade play, then how the hell are they gonna win, right? This is so long, and I kind of wonder how the hell they're doing it. And of course, the final vanquish has to go to that corn. That corn got killed, and of course, Zio gets 1-0. Impressive work, but also kind of long. And as you can tell from the runtime, this took a total of almost 15 minutes to do the first match. And you can tell how long the streams are going to be, and we're going to be doing 6 matches of these mugs. Alright, round 2. Round 2 of 6. This one is the plant side. We're looking at the plant's viewpoint, and we are now in Zen Peak. For all the people who are aware of Zen Peak in the mixed mode playlist, you obviously know the number one thing, takeover bell. It's the most central point in the map, and you want to make sure you keep it as possible. So obviously, there's going to be a massive firefight. Also, in courtesy of me, nailed it. Unfortunately, he got nothing. It would have been funny if it did. So obviously you can tell right now, obviously the rooftops are going to be floated with soldiers, brains, and everything, while the rest are going to be hanging in the bottom. Mostly the corns, pea shooters, and citrons will tend to be a lot more mobile, and of course rats with his annoying parrot. Got 1-for-1 parrot movement nowadays, or drone movement. It's obnoxious, bro. You definitely had a heart attack the entire round. That's fair. I mean, that's the thing. That's how hype and also how heart-pumping the matches can really be. So as you can tell right now, unfortunately, ZL doesn't have the best of luck when it comes to the advantage and tactical support. Obviously, they don't have the rooftop advantage, so obviously the soldiers can definitely provide a lot of havoc from above to at least force them to fall back. And you can tell they're all packed together so that they don't take any damage at all in cover. Welcome everybody to the stream. Obviously, 3 soldiers is actually pretty good, and also you gotta keep. Oh man, 2 pirates! Oh god. You were so quiet. Yeah, aren't you always, Shadow? So, yeah, also beware of All-Stars. They lost a flower, so that's a bad call. Because if a flower is gone, then how the heck are they going to be able to, like, heal up? That's where the zombies can just go charge in and just, go after every single plant if all the flowers are just KO'd. As you can tell right now, Fridge got a double shuck shot, but unfortunately the 2 scientists are already getting the jump revive strat. If you don't know what the jump revive strat is, you basically don't move your left analog stick or your movement trigger while jumping, and you can technically keep your movement momentum while jumping without like completely cutting it off. Everyone uses this strat. Like every single scientist uses this strat as well as flowers. It's pretty common now in Garden 2, and it actually does at least help you guys hide and cover, as you can tell. So, obviously, the strat for plants is you definitely want to use the power of the spam that the plants can do in order for you to, how do I say it? In order to at least force the zombies to fall back and take over your ground. Zombies tend to have a lot more strategy and team-oriented plays in order to, get the most of it. So, as you can tell right now, they are starting to retreat and move back to tree, which is the second central point of the map. If Bell is, like, lost. 2 soldiers in the rooftop, that's pretty common. Nice one, Fridge. Your corn skills remain unparalleled, bud. Makes the, alright. Yeah, obviously target the healers, because if the healers live, it's problems. And if you get the brains, that's good. You can definitely, like, get them deserted and they're forced to hide away. Obviously, just don't rush in. That's the thing. The number 1 rule I would always get told whenever you do like Vanquish Confirm or Team Vanquish, do not rush in and give them free Vanquishes or orbs. Do not feed them, because obviously it's just, you're gonna basically put yourself in a risk situation and you're not gonna get any reward out of it. So obviously feeds also matter too, and yeah, you definitely want to battle. It's definitely all about the spam to battle your way through what position you're gonna be in. Yeah, brains is also the only brains, and probably the brains, all-stars, and I think M's are definitely the most spammy, while the rest are definitely a lot more team oriented and a lot more tactical. Every single plant class in this game is definitely like can be played as spammed. No, freezing. The reason why is because the person who's live streaming this apparently doesn't have the highest of internet, so I'm very sorry that the quality on this stream is bad. I'm doing this at 720p to give you guys at least a lot of viewpoints. So I'm terribly sorry if it's not available for you to see. I think, you know what? Actually, let me go ahead and let me actually let me exit the full screen and I will update the chat real quick. I'm gonna update the chat box. I'll probably put it like somewhere over here. And I think that will do. Obviously for parrots you definitely want to stay hidden in cover, so that you're definitely able to like stay hidden. And obviously for drones, you better make sure you don't remain seen, because eventually they will be called and they will immediately be shot down. Yeah, I don't know why it's so cropped. Yeah, I noticed what you meant by cropped weirdly. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can edit that. So I'm terribly sorry if it's like that. Let me pause it real quick. I don't know why it's so cropped. Yeah, this is apparently not as effective as I thought they would be. This is as best as I could get, so we'll have to leave. Well, we're gonna leave it like that. There's gonna be a bit of a black instance at the top right, at the top part corner, but it's okay. So I think we're back in. It should be playing right now. So oh my god, how cropped is this? What the fudge? But I think the crop screen is fine, because I'm just looking at it right now. I think it's fine if it's that thick, because there's not really anything that's been, you know, covered down. This is good enough as it is. So obviously for corns and for back to the point, obviously you definitely want to take control of Bell and force him to retreat to the second central point, which is more like the less good one, which is tree. And obviously, I think if I recall correctly, back in the old tournament rules, that building on the right over there, like where my mouse is pointing, that actually used to have been banned before it's actually now considered legal in friendly and tournament rules. That actually has been banned since this was 2020's tournament, so yeah. So obviously, as you can tell, this is an entirely different. This tournament system was different before. There's been like a lot of changes and revamps. And if I recall correctly, didn't this tournament used to imply that you can have 3 Iron Citrons? I think this was the tournament system that did the 3 Iron Citron rule before they started to lower it down. I know that this version tournament of the tournament was implying that you can only have 1 agent and plasma. But like back then, Iron Citron, you can have like a total of 3, and it was absolutely obnoxious in this tournament. But it's not shown here because this is welcome mat. So yeah, the main building on the right, like, you know, the middle building that's like below Bell, if you look at a central standpoint, that is now available for, like, you can now go up there. And obviously the corn's push is not the strongest because they only have butter barrage and not bigger butter butter, so they really cannot rely on the high damage setups. All they can rely on is the high DPS and damage that the corns can do, and also butter barrage for additional stinging damage. So that's the only thing that they really have to, like, make the most value of. I'm very sorry if it's cropped like this. Obviously, I'm trying to see if it's like best to your view, but the quality is not the best because this is someone else streaming it. So obviously you definitely want to watch your 6, because you never know where they're gonna be popping out. Like, they can be popping out of the northwest area of Bell, and they're gonna try to make a lot of pushes. So obviously you want to make sure you keep an eye on where the zombies are going to be coming from, because in this map spawns can flip and they can be thrown off. Like, every clan can be thrown off, and oh my god, poor Fridge is just getting DBG left, right, and center. I'm gonna go ahead and how long has this match been made? Oh my god, it's actually pretty darn long. Let me go ahead and go like over here or something. It's still a 10-point lead for It's still a 10-point lead for ZL, and obviously the lead is gonna be shorter and shorter as the revives go by. Already enough. You technically want to make sure you put, like, whenever you knock out somebody in this mode, you want to make sure it is actually dangerous for the scientist to go for a revive. Even despite if they're gonna try to play defense, you definitely want to like destroy their defense as the game goes by. Nice vanquish that. Nice vanquish there, Fridge. And make sure you get out of there safely too. It's like a tactical extraction. This is gonna go really long. A Butter Brush Vanquish has been good. Obviously, knock out all the scientists, or knock out the healers too, and also the big forces, because if you can get their main batteries down, then they're definitely gonna be forced to fall back. Yeah. We're just now getting to 20, and just remains 20 until you guys can get some good plays in. So like the games can really last so long if both teams are playing extremely careful and they're playing it safe until they go for a strong push. As you can tell right now, as you can see, it's a bit of a battle in the bell. So it looks like for the majority of the area, look at how many. Okay, let me rewind right now. Do you notice how many vanquish plants are there? And literally both of them are flowers. So if you can get rid of the flowers, or like I guess like the healers, then you definitely can get like a lot of vanquishes, and you can definitely get some points back to at least cut the lead off to a couple of points. And you definitely don't want to like reset the timer. So now at this point, I think Vice is now taking control of Bell, and the lead is now cut from 10 to 5, well to 4 now. And unfortunately, they're not able to get a lot of vanquishes back, or like they're not able to get like a lot of revives back. So obviously, it's gonna be a battle to see which team can get like a correct play and whatnot. So this has to be like a bit of a stalling game. Like you play as a team or you die alone. So now the entirety of Zeo has to work all the way toward the tree, which is the only central point that's apparently considered safe. And they have to be careful because Jones can also capture the orbs too with their fast movement. And of course, Garden 1-for-1 players tend to abuse Jones and Joan Wars or something like that. I don't even know. It's kind of crazy how we're really going. They're going like a full circle in the entirety when the teams move together. Obviously, Jones are going to be a big play here because they can just get as many orbs as possible. And of course, as you can tell right now, they're making an entire loop around. They're going, I think, clockwise. I think it's clockwise if you're looking at the stream of where Fridge is going. And obviously, you want to make the thing is if you're ever playing a cactus on this mode, make sure you don't get spotted by the parrot, because all it takes is a fast explosion to knock out the cacti to lose all the jump superiority, and if they would go for it, they would make a push. You don't want to technically be on the opposite end of that. Obviously, Brains is not really as effective unless if there isn't a lot of plants like contesting them. Look at them over there. They're trying to. Oh no! Look at that feed. Look at that feed. Literally, one side. It's like a seesaw. One side has been focused on that, dealing with them, which is more of like a diversion, and then the second side was where they get a freaking quad and it knocked out 4 people. So this is the part of the time where you definitely want to just go ham and make sure the flowers do not get the revives, because it will take a long time, and you definitely want to have to rely a lot on your defense for this to work. 4 people is pretty massive because it literally shifts the tide. But luckily enough, Zeo was definitely able to replenish those vanquishes and make sure the 4 points were not added. So now it shifted all the way back to 22, and they've lost like 6 vanquishes with that. So obviously the revival plays were definitely in a really good spot. The grab nade indeed was good for Vice, but they weren't able to capitalize against the flowers, and that's how they were able to get the healing done. And I feel honestly. So now, as you can tell, we're now heading to the southeast quadrant of Zen Peak, and it's now looks like if we're going to another full rotation to see if you guys can take back Bell, which I hope you guys think you are able to. I wasn't there but I was just watching the friendly too. So also, if I recall correctly, this is tournament rules. I don't know if respawning is allowed. Like, I remember in the official tournament setup, apparently there was. I'll get to the controversial ending of the tournament real soon once I finish this infamous match. As you can tell right now, you definitely want to make sure you remain hidden, and lag really started to kick in as a benefactor there. So obviously, you want to make sure you don't take a lot of damage if you're going to be playing the stalling game like that. So we're looking at it right now. It's a 9-point lead for ZL. The games can get really, really long and repetitive. It's already been past 15 minutes, and we're only at game 2 of 6. Obviously, they're all packed up together. So normally, if you can get like a really good feed in there, then that's where you definitely can charge in and use the power of the plants to spam in order to, I guess, make a push, right? There's a lot of Ks in stream. So that's another Vanquish down. They lost another tactical supporter, but I think since to the roof's elevation, they're probably going to fall down and get a free revive right there. And as you can tell already, a feat has been played, but be careful at the imps because the nade could definitely like slow down the progress and could definitely force them to fall back and probably lose a lot more than they can gain. So as you can tell right now, it's a battle for middle right now currently. And yeah, obviously you want to definitely make sure you don't get killed easily. Honestly, Vice was definitely one of the most cracked clans besides ZL back in 2020. That was like, Vice was the most threatening, and now in this day and age, it's just easy to beat most of the time. Obviously, if you're a mech, you want to make sure you eject safely, because if you don't, you're definitely going to give the plants a permanent vanquish. Oh yeah, that was bridge lagging a little bit. But as you can tell right now, the score is extremely lopsided. It is almost a 20-point lead for ZL against Vice in round 2 of 6 in the official round 5 of Welcome Mat. So as you can tell right now, ZL has a really good spot. They're in a really good position, and they're able to at least play this one safe. They don't have to rush in if they have to, but they have to make sure they don't accidentally feed them any vanquishes so that they'll be able to come back. At this point on, you definitely want to make sure you stay in a good lead. Like, this is already an almost 20-point lead for ZL, which is extremely good. So at this point, you technically want to stack on the pressure, but make sure you play it safe because you don't definitely want to get, like, feeded, because that would be, like, a good countermeasure for the zombies. So, they're 3 away, and they're most likely going to be able to take game 2 of 6. So, excellent work to ZL's teamwork and coordination. It's on point. And this is how proving that ZL definitely was the dominant clan in the summer of 2020. Back then, I guess I'll give you guys a bit of an inside scoop. Apparently, back then, before ZL was created, there's been a lot of clan wars regarding the Spanish side, because the Spanish side was definitely the language barrier that basically introduced the clan aspect of like winning friendlies and also different like rule sets on how to win the game. Until there's been some English-oriented, or at least they attempted some English-oriented clans like Vice Street, one example, which is an English hybrid of Vice Club. And then we have SKS, which had a mix of, how do I say it, like Spanish and English players normally, but SKS wanted to remain as a Spanish, so apparently the English side decided to leave, and eventually you merged them together, you created ZL. And keep in mind, Moon did ask me to join ZL, and then I never regretted it ever since. So as you can tell right now, ZL was definitely able to take game 2 of 6. So congratulations to ZL. You are now in a 2-0 lead against Vice in round 5 of the tournament. You're now heading off to... Damn, Fridge. Damn, you can pop off like that. You and Jeff with the 20s. Impressive work. So we're now going to head on to game 3 of... We're going to head on to round 3 of 6, which is Boney Island. They're back on Zombies. So... And that match lasted for like almost 20 minutes, the previous one. You can just wonder how long this is gonna last. Now, Boney Island is a bit of a really packed map because there's the outside area and Volcano. Volcano being pretty close quarters because there isn't a lot of airstrikes available. And as you can tell, already the drone's already trying to launch an airstrike. Definitely, you want to stay clear from those. So make sure you don't get get spammed. And as you can tell already, Vice is already at a hot start. Like, Vice already has a 6-0 lead, and look at how many revive symbols are there. And you can tell that Vice is not gonna let any of those remain revived. So unfortunately, Vice is showing some signs of life and is able to just successfully collect a lot of free vanquishes and make sure they remain permanent. So obviously, bad stuff for ZL, and you kind of wonder how the hell are they going to be able to catch up. This is definitely their game to win. Possibly, because, plants are definitely the more dominant side, personally, in my opinion, because they have a lot of spam, but they can be pretty boring, too. So, when you have a mech, you definitely want to make sure you get a good counterplay. Obviously, target the flowers first, because if they Flowers are definitely good because if all of them are knocked out, then you can definitely rack up as many vanquishes as possible. So it's really going to be hard for Vice to see if they can catch up. Make sure to get a safe vanquish. If not, you're going to get KO'd. So, hope you guys are all doing good. I really wanted to do this, by the way, ever since I did my most recent, after my last tournament review with Supreme Virus. So as you can tell right now, 12 to 3 lead. Obviously, a really bad start for Zio in round 3 of 6. I can just imagine the Zio chat just be completely disappointed in the party when they got absolutely wrecked in the beginning. And sometimes you tend to wonder, like, how the hell are they going to be able to come back from this? But Fridge, with a really sneaky nade, was able to get some value of it. But I don't know if he's... And as you can tell, Shadow, Kawan, were definitely able to capitalize and get the good push to knock out a lot of the healers. So now this is where Zio is able to fight back and go ham. They have no more healers. They can't make any revives or heals. So obviously, go and pressure them while they're weakened. And this is where Zio was definitely able to reluctantly fight back and is able to immediately cut the lead off from 10 to now 5. So now they're definitely showing some signs of light. They're able to perform that counterplay, and we're able to successfully get a lot of vanquishes while making sure they don't do it. So obviously, in the terms of memes, Vice just got the Uno reverse card. They got the taste of their own medicine. And as you can tell, Fridge is going for another nade play. He successfully racks up 2 plants, which is a flower and a corn, but unfortunately doesn't able to make the, they're unable to make the value of it. So, of course, you want to make sure you don't get you don't want to like respawn. And obviously, it's going to be a battle to see if you can hold your ground, because that's the thing about Team Vanquish is you have to stick together as a team. So unfortunately, a Vanquish will be added for Vice at that time. So we are now entering, and now notice that the spawns are apparently under them, so you can definitely, the imps can go undercover and use their mobility to see if they can sneak around and score some vanquishes. As you can tell right now, the plants are trying to pressure them to make sure they don't get any progress whatsoever, and they're going to try to make sure they don't get their plays correctly. Of course, Vice is able to at least reluctantly fight back and use the power of the spam that the plant side would have to see if they can make a push. The only defensive countermeasure would definitely be the imps and the all-stars. So obviously, you want to make sure you remain hidden, and you want to make sure you do not get spotted at any time, because you'll eventually be alerted to your presence. They're now under the volcano, which is not too bad for zombies, because airstrikes are indeed limited. It is kind of hard, but the only downside is the beam bombs, because you're definitely going to get spammed a lot. And you want to make sure you get a good open shot to fire a Missile Madness. And here we go, Fridge making his attempt, trying to rack up a few vanquishes. He only gets 1 corn, but immediately gets destroyed, so that's a bad thing. So obviously, going a suicidal mech is definitely not the way to go with imps, because as you can tell right now, they're already now in an 18-0 lead. Vice is literally decimating Zio right now in round 3 of 6. So you kind of wonder, how the heck are they going to be able to come back? But hey, this is Zio we're talking about, and you definitely don't want to underestimate them. As you can tell right now, they're being extremely packed. They're definitely taking into account of the 2 games that they lost in, and how Zio was definitely able to come back and perform correct strategies whatsoever. Obviously, they're completely pinned down, which is the suckish part. Fridge tossing a nade, gets a couple of vanquishes there, and as you can tell, the input in place immediately starts to kick into effect with the Missile Madness now being fired, and now they're trying to see if they can get some vanquishes without making sure they don't get any revives. Another good nade play has been initialized, and eventually gets a couple of picks. But unfortunately, they're not able to capitalize because the flowers are still there, and luckily they're down, so they're definitely able to at least get some pushes in, and at least try to hold their ground. Obviously, obviously this part of the map is definitely the most airstrike oriented, and you definitely want to make sure, like, the Torture is going to be providing fire damage. The zombies cannot inflict any elemental damage whatsoever freaking ever, so that kind of sucks for them. Obviously, we're now cut down to a 10-point lead. I can't read the chat right now because it's all Spanish. But it's okay. I don't mind. So, obviously enough, you want to make sure you... how the heck are you going to come back from the Zio? Let's see how you come back. Okay, got a few picks there. A Rose and a Peach Eater has been neutralized. And a Joan has been down, so he's not able to make any advantages. I think that might be Rats' Joan. Of course, Rats isn't going for 1 clan, so obviously Joan Wars are definitely going to kick into 2. It's a very long game of Boney Island, and it's definitely back and forth. So another mech has been summoned. Obviously, the Imp's main strategy is definitely getting their nades until they can get the mechs and eventually fire one hell of a Missile Madness. So as you can tell right now, Fridge is going in, and look at how much carnage he can cause with that Missile Madness. Gets a couple of picks, but definitely another nade has been summoned so that they don't get any value of it or disrupts their flow of healing and support. So at this point, you definitely want to pressure him, but make sure you don't get spammed back. The feed is definitely starting to cut down to a close here, as the lead is now cut down to 5. And the flowers are not showing any signs of vitality or anywhere since the spawns are now flipped. I might wanna remove some of these messages personally. This is some weird stuff that you guys are talking about. We're now back to the more tactical part of the map. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward a few parts. Where the heck's my mouse? Let's go here. Let me go here. So we're gonna go back to where over here at this point. We are now looking at. They're eventually, as you can tell right now, they're definitely trying to balance out the. They're definitely trying to make the sides lopsided as it is. They're pushing him to move away and probably near the volcano, and they're all packed together. But it's not worthy for a nade because it's definitely gonna be a complete, like, circle around the entirety of the map. And yeah, you gotta watch your back too if you're gonna push forward, because that could cripple the team's progression. Going for 1 super commander cripples everything. Yeah, that's pretty much true. 4 shots and easy aim. So 5-point lead. We're gonna go in and move forward to a couple of picks here. Yeah. So so we're running over here. As you can tell, the lead is now cut to 2, or to 3. As you can tell, the flowers are trying to get as many revives as possible. But 2 mechs have been summoned. 1 is just recently ejected. Immediately fires a Missile Madness to target the flowers most likely. Oh, beautiful nade shots. Nice work. Now, the damage has indeed been done, but thanks to the Rose's Arcane Enigma, he's able to at least sandbag some of the damage so that they're not able to at least call in a lot of explosive spam. But now ZL is definitely able to come back after a very rusty start in the beginning of Boney Island, and now the game is almost tied. Obviously enough, it's going to be a bit of a long one. I don't think Fridge here in your position. Well, the Rose did. Body shot, yeah. As you can tell right now, the flowers are making a lot of revives as possible. A nade has been tossed, but unfortunately a corn has been the unfortunate victim. Get the flowers, you guys! Get the flowers! Quit drooling, says Zombot. Yeah. Everyone's just getting vanquished left, right, and center, and everybody's just moving back and forth. That's the thing about Team Vanquish. You want to make sure you go together as a team and make sure you guys don't get KO'd. I kind of wonder what Device was saying. Oh, it's I noticed that Streamwise is somewhat lagging. I hope my internet's gonna hold. I'm gonna try my PS4. I don't wanna lag my internet. As you can tell right now, 4-point game, and obviously the music's still playing because it's just that. Look at how many plants are packed there. This is an area where you don't want a good nade like that to happen, and here comes Kawhi with that ridiculous speed. Now they're starting to fight back. They lost a lot of their ground, and now you definitely want to make sure they don't get any revives. A second nade has been tossed, and they're getting a lot more. Already, the All-Stars are making a push, and now they're able to at least show some signs of life. And the flowers are able, and the scientists are able to revive all the zombies that are knocked down in the fight. But the flowers are back there in the business, and of course, look at how many are there. If you face off them like head on, you're gonna be screwed. But a Missile Madness has been fired. It's been relentless. This assault has indeed been relentless for the longest time. A mech has been ready to go. So now you technically want to call in your mech the moment you ready fire your nade. So obviously they cannot make that same mistake of making multiple plays like that. Otherwise, it would immediately break them. All right, we're looking at it right now. Obviously, sorry for being a bit quiet. Obviously, you definitely don't want to respawn. I don't know if the scientist is going to be able to make it. Unfortunately, no. But look at the score right now. It is now a 3-point game. They're close to making the comeback. I'm going to go ahead and rewind to this part of the stream. So as you can tell right now, let me go ahead and so they get a lot of good nades here. They're definitely able to make the push to through Missile Madness. Oh, I'm lagging. Yeah, there's a lot of frame delay. But they're now able to make the push. They're able to constantly fight forward to make sure. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna review every stream Zero. I'm probably just gonna review mostly this one, but then I'll show you guys some additional highlights. I'm not gonna do this one. So, as you can tell right now, the Zeo is definitely making the comeback with the powerful nade plays, and the Missile Madness has sealed their fates. They were able to make the successful comeback and finally win round 3. Zeo, excellent work. So now we are getting on to game 4 of 6. But of course, it's lunar landing, and you don't do lunar landing because anti-gravity maps are banned and they're cheap. So obviously, this map doesn't count, so we're going to immediately fast forward to round number 4. Oh, this is it. Oh, guys, we're here. We're here. We're now in the infamous 50-1. This is the main highlight of the stream. We're now at the main highlight. Here we go. This is the game that forever edged history. As you can tell right now, it's obviously a battle, and you know Sandy Sands has a really nasty reputation for getting a lot of really bad spawn, like a lot of spawn camping parts. So, it's not easy though. Sandy Sands will definitely have a lot of annoying spawn camps, but definitely the central parts of this map is definitely the good side of it. Unfortunately, a nade has been tossed, and now they're going to try to knock out the flowers. As you can tell, the ulcers are definitely trying to make sure the flowers get knocked out cold, and it looks like it definitely did. But try to make sure you use the power of spam to make sure you guys hold your ground. So, okay, sorry for being a bit quiet. As you can tell right now, the plants are definitely, they're relentlessly attacking the zombies. They cannot get any progress whatsoever. The pea shooters, the corns, and the torchwood are definitely forcing them, or they're just providing a lot of suppressed fire and a lot of instant damage to force them to move around the map. But make sure to keep the central spot because they do not want to be ambushed in the back, and that would force them to, you know, fight back. The scientists are trying to get as many revives as possible. Target the scientists, you guys, and there you go. You guys are definitely able to hold your ground successfully. But make sure to let the vanquishes fly in. Imagine a clan match of Boney Island. That would there has been Rash, like it's kind of insane though. Now as you can tell right now, the zombies are gonna try to. Now as you can tell, Vice is definitely trying to capitalize and take this area of the map as their own. But as you can tell right now, Zeo has indeed made sure to keep the. They're able to keep this area safely for them. They don't want to make sure they want to keep this area because this area is definitely the more central and vantage point, and there hasn't been like a lot of like wall restrictions for them. So as you can tell right now, the zombies failed to at least intercept them from the back and are able to and the plants are able to take control. So obviously right now we're now looking at the opposite end, and this is looking like we're looking at a mirror right now. All right. So I'm just looking at chat. It's like 10-second difference. So we're gonna go ahead and continue looking on. We're now as you can tell right now, notice that the score has been 28-2, and they're not getting any permanent vanquishes. This is how well Zeo is definitely able to hold their ground without giving Vice any room to breathe. This is how Vice is just getting their butts whooped right now. This is just downright excessive right now. A part of me makes me feel bad for Vice, but knowing this is 2020 and their behavior, I personally don't. Sally. As you can tell right now, the plants are definitely able to rack up as many revives and are keeping the score at 0 for Vice. They can't get any value no matter how hard they try. They're flopping up their plays, everything. Everything has been decimated. They can't get any value, nothing. Nothing is going their way right now, and even the flowers are into the risk area, but they're somehow able to live. The mechs are not even able to make any good pushes. This is how you know Zeo is definitely able to adapt to every single change as the game can go by. They're able to force them to fall back, and they cannot give them. They're not giving them the opening to make plays. This is how they're able to make the shots count. Unfortunately, I think a few vanquishes are definitely gonna be made here, but try to make sure you guys hold your ground, E2. So, as you can tell right now, obviously, if you get naded in the bottom level, you definitely want to get out of there safely. Like, as you can tell, Fridge unfortunately failed. But they're trying to see if they can at least get the, you know, trying to see if they're able to try to at least get some points on the board. But thanks to every single revive, they're still stuck at 0, and they're literally like 13 vanquishes away from winning the game. How the heck is Vice not able to come back? This is just insane. How the heck are they not able to like get any pushes? Oh my god. I don't even know what to say. Vice is just getting destroyed right now. Man. No, they still cannot get any vanquishes. I'm still downright surprised when I saw this. Even with the nade plays, they can't get any value. They're not capitalizing. Even with the Missile Madnesses, I feel like most of them have been so raw. And now ZL is literally 10 points away from victory. And even if they're getting vanquishes, they're literally like, the scientists are going suicidal. And that's a bad call. Because that forces them to at least fall back. Because if they can't make a good push and ZL gets a lot of vanquishes, then they're able to catch up. And look at this! Even they're getting feeds, they're still not getting any vanquishes. Because the flowers and every single bit of ZL's team is reviving. How the hell are they not able to pull this off? How the heck are they not able to get their ground back? They've been staying on that exact same side for way too long. At this point, if you were Vice, you have to ask yourself, this side is not working. Maybe we should move around. But they didn't. They're stuck in this side for too darn long, and that's probably their major downfall. Because that part of the area has been so freaking predictable, and they cannot get any value no matter how hard they try, even through single or just simple feeds. It's just so bad for them right now. And as you can tell right now, the game has unfortunately indeed ended. A triple feed, I think, was what got the victory, I think. Sorry, Zero. So yeah, I think it was like a quick triple feed. I am just downright dumbfounded on how they did it. Okay, listen guys. This will forever edge in history. This will forever edge in history as one of the greatest highlights in the history of ZL. There's no way we're never gonna get a memorable highlight as this. Winning a round with a 50-1 deficit against arguably the strongest Spanish-oriented clan of that time. How the heck can you come back from that? There's no way we're ever gonna replicate the same magic as this highlight. This is what I call the infamous 50-1 victory for ZL. I swear to God, Vice had hit a nerve ever since then. This has got to be the greatest highlight in the history of the game. Obviously, ZL was going crazy. For the people in ZL that are watching, what were your reactions? Because I could tell you guys were so surprised, but you guys were a bit upset that it should have been a 50-0, because that would have been like a good highlight. But really, 50-1 is still one insane highlight, though, and you guys were able to play and defend your position flawlessly. And that was just round 4 of 6. We're now going to head on to round 5. And this is Coliseum. And they're now on the zombie side. Now, Coliseum has a notorious aspect for going around on the outside or the inside portions of the map. And you can definitely go around safely because there's no, there's a lot of limited openings to the areas in the map. Yeah, you guys were all freaking out. I can understand that. And that was definitely one of the greatest highlights I have ever seen in my life. You're gonna see why. I'm gonna show you guys something after this. I'm gonna show you guys something after I finish this entirety of the stream. Or not. This stream only, but I'm not gonna end it yet after I finish this one. You guys, at this point, you guys were losing your minds in the best way possible. At this point, you definitely have to ride all of that momentum. And already enough, a powerful nade has been summoned in, but unfortunately no capitalization because they were all being pushed back and all. But obviously, I had to put the 50-1 with Zero Limits winning as the thumbnail. That has got to be the greatest highlight in ZL's history. No other clan highlight would ever beat that. That's definitely going in the record books. Man. So now Coliseum, I know most of you guys didn't like this map because during some Team Vanquish practice, of course, this map was so campy and so reluctantly rage-inducing sometimes. But man, a missile madness has been fired. Gets the airborne Peachtree, which is good. At this point, no, at this point, since there's so many Vanquishes, you definitely just have to retreat. But the Flowers are still trying to go for revives in a Death Wish. This is a bad call for them. You technically just want to save your skin. And the Flowers are already getting knocked out cold. And now all the supporters are gone, and now all the plants have our attacks. But the zombies can counter that. As you can tell, Vice is not having a really good day. Zio is just kicking their butts right now. They literally have pulled off the insane momentum shift ever since Game 3. Game 4 is where they had all the momentum in the world and the war against Vice, I mean, and the world was watching. Like the clan scenery, I don't know what the rest of the other clans were thinking when they witnessed it happen. They have to, at this point, the 50-1 is like the ultimate statement that ZL is definitely a clan you do not want to mess with. For good reasons, obviously. And you know, during that tournament, people say that ZL was toxic. But I'm pretty sure the entirety of the Spanish community fan base was definitely just downright disappointed the moment we just took the entire tournament by storm. That's the power of Zero Limits for you. And they say competitive tournament play can only be done for Spanish clans. We literally broke that boundary. Well, I mean, there is Vice Street though that almost got a perfect score in one of the tournaments, but Zio, it's the statement fully revolutionized. Man. So, as you can tell right now, they're definitely going around. Definitely you want to stay around on the outside of Coliseum because this part of the map is definitely like you're gonna go around in circles a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward a few instances over here. Okay. So at this point, so what I like to call this part here is the ambush, like the stealth ambush. As you can tell right now, one side of ZL has been focused on tasked on defending, like forcing the plants to stay in the same ground, and then you have a few all-stars and an imp going behind them, and then guess what, guys? Look at this part, and there's an all-star and an imp. Can you guys guess what's gonna happen next? Guys, just guess. Yeah, oh yeah, Fubar with that double look. Guess what's gonna come up next? Guess what's gonna come up next? It was at this moment that Vice Club knew. They bleeped up. All it took was a quad for Fubar to really cripple their defenses in half, and everything just broke them. And my God, that quad was absolutely devastating. Those four Vanquishes are definitely not gonna be revived anytime soon. Oh my God, that was a beautiful play. I swear to God, 2020's version of ZL was definitely perfectionist at its finest. It's like super perfect self from Dragon Ball. Oh man, that was amazing. Well done. And now at this point now, Vice is definitely crippled. How the heck are they definitely gonna be able to restore back? Although I know Fubar unfortunately took some damage with that beam bomb. But he's a mech, so he can definitely eat and chug all that out. What the heck, Bridge? What were you doing? Yeah, the mech unfortunately got destroyed, but luckily he was able to escape in the nick of time. I'm trying to rewind stream to make sure everything is in proper working order. So, yeah. So, obviously, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and rewind this part here. So, unfortunately, score is still the same, but those plays are definitely what they need. They have to make a couple more of these to work. So, we're gonna go around to this part of the area. We're now at 1 hour, 8 minutes, 1 hour and 9 minutes. So, obviously, you definitely have 2 imps and 2 all-stars going around them, while the rest of the zombies are just keeping them busy. The flowers are there. All it takes is a few implants to knock out some of the flowers, and you definitely want to keep the pressure going. Sunbeam is not a good play because it definitely gives them a free vanquish. That flower has to run away. Unfortunately, she's still alive, but she's definitely gonna get KO'd anytime soon. Just like that. So, I think the torch. Yeah, the torch doesn't bother Blazing Blast because it's definitely a Death Wish. So obviously you definitely gotta fall back. A Missile Madness is indeed being fired. Unfortunately, the plants were definitely able to hide and cover before the damage has been done. Hidden Galling Ambush kind of breaks a bit of ZL and does break down the mech, so he's still left with 20% health. So 35 to 12, ZL is just decimating Vice at this point. Hello, Issa, welcome. We're gonna go rewind to over here. So, welcome back to another ambush and bait and switch strat, and of course, Fridge is lagging. Why wouldn't he be? And look already at the feed, it's just ZL feeds over and over again. They're giving Vice the worst day of their lives. And that's saying something, because Vice had a really big reputation back in that tournament until we literally took the clan scenery by storm. Already, a lot of feats have been made, and doesn't look like Vice is able to get any revives whatsoever. It's already a 41 to 16 lead. It's like 35, a lead of 35. So all it takes is teamwork to best the plants and counter their spam. That's definitely one of the greatest things ever. Yeah, at this point, Vice is just Vice is just asking themselves what the heck are they supposed to do now? Because this new clan that came out in 2020 of the summer has just started and already is dominating against the most the most Grand Slam clan in Garden Warfare in PvZ history, and that's saying something because your reputation will definitely remain That's when you know that your reputation is starting to get tarnished, and it's just the beginning of a new generation of clans to come into wake. So it is still 43 to 44, 44 to 26. As you can tell right now, the mech is getting a couple of ambush vanquishes. He has to immediately eject and gets a few. Immediately tosses the nade so that the flowers don't try to get the nade plays, but unfortunately no good. But if you're by yourself and you're playing as an imp, I could say rest in peace. And also, I swear to God, if you're an imp main and you get Blazing Blast by Tortured, I can sense the internal rage from all of you. You would just toss the controller like no one raging in Fortnite. So, rewind. So as you can tell right now, it's victory for them. Oh wait, what did Dalian get? Damn, Dalian with that triple ZBG though. That sealed the deal. That got 3 people. 2 of them were players. So at this point, it is a 20-point lead as ZL takes round 5. Now to round number 6, which is the final round. ZL is up 5-0 against Vice in round 5 of the 2020 Summer Tournament. And the final round is Frosty Creek. And they're on plants. Now, on my personal experiences, there's been a lot of close games in Frosty Creek whenever there was a team vanquish friendly. There's been a lot of close games. But at this point, we definitely adapted, and now I just feel like this is just a landslide. ZL is just decimating against the most decorated clan in this stage of age. I don't know at this point. I kind of feel like after what ZL did to Vice, they're now in retirement. Or they're just out of commission for a while now. What ZL did will forever change the clan history. So now, Frosty Creek, as you can tell, is a pretty sided map. Unfortunately, Fridge wasn't able to get a couple of vanquishes, but he is at least able to get the scientist. I don't think some of the zombies don't even notice. Okay, well now he does, and of course they have to spam. Yeah, escape is no good. Oh wow, Fridge actually escaped and lived to fight another day. You guys with your crazy knack of going suicidal and making the plays count. So glad to be part of ZL back in 2020. That was definitely the best moments of my life before we disbanded to move on to bigger, better things. That was the greatest thing ever in history. Oh my. That was awesome. That was just downright awesome. Now, obviously, if they have a mech and they have the vantage point, you definitely want to make sure you don't get the tactical vantage point because it will be really bad for you. Obviously, it's no good because at this point, you're going to wonder how the heck are you going to be able to survive against that. So the game is pretty close right now. So currently, we are at... Look how packed they are. If they have mechs and all-stars, you definitely don't want to go push in because they could definitely make a push if a mech falls. So you definitely want to play it safe. like on that part of the vantage point there. Yay! That scream though. Sorry, that was a corn skin. I'm trying to mock it. So yeah, I'm gonna skip the part where whenever people get revived on stream. I honestly, guys, I have a question. Honestly, for the people that are watching, has there been a Vice perspective on this stream? I don't know. I could check it on their channel and see, or maybe they might have deleted it after knowing how embarrassingly defeated they were during that time. If at this point they have to stream it because it has to be verified in the rules, so that they have to make it legit. Because stuff gets serious in tournament play when you have to imply like keeping the streams live so that you can see like what's going on, like if there is like an over the character rule breaking limit, or they abuse glitches, or they abuse banned characters, or they just respawn just to get an edge. So obviously enough, Bossy Greek is kind of hit or miss. I'm gonna go ahead and rewind to some parts over here. We're now, I'm gonna fast forward to a couple parts of the stream over here. We are now looking at literally, I feel like the battle in Prosecuting has always been the same side over and over again. What the heck? 100 unregistered damage on that poor scientist. Don't you hate that? Don't you hate to see it? So, we're going to continue looking at this. As you can tell, it's really a battle to see if Zio can get the 6-0. That's the ZBG almost got. Oh yeah, a mech up top is actually kind of deadly because it's definitely vantage point, and yeah, suicidal explosive escape. So definitely make sure that doesn't happen. Good thing enough, Zio was able to counter that strat and make sure they don't get that suicidal explosive escape play without safety issues, without giving them the safe exit. That building, that archway building is actually pretty good to keep your ground. Also, it's probably gonna fall if he survives. Yeah, he's down. There's a lot of campers in the side. You want to make sure you don't get your heads popped out by these pirates. So it's now 20 to 13. It's just gonna be increase and decrease on the scores every single time. So I'm terribly sorry if I'm not accurate with the scores. We're gonna continue fast forwarding to some parts over here. This is still 720p, so I'm terribly sorry if the quality is not as good on stream as it is watching. But it was the best internet Fridge can give us at the time. Oh darn, headshots. Rats with his pirate. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get as much value though. So as you can tell right now, they're basically besting. They're basically in the lead by double digits. Zio is literally in the lead in double digits right now, you guys. Man. This has been one of the most historic. This has been one of the most historic tournaments ever in Zio's history, and I'm pretty sure none of the other like older clans were expecting this. Not even SL, Vice, not even SL, SKS, or even Vice. They were definitely put on hold, and they were forewarned that it's not just the Spanish side. The English community of this game can also dominate in the clans. And as you can tell right now, they're already making their picks as they can, while also trying to get some safe extractions out of there. Well, almost safe. So 44 to 27, they're up by like 20 points. And as you can tell right now, it has not been a really good day for Vice. Freaking ZL is just able to capitalize, and there it goes, a 6-0. Oh my god. That's stunning though. But there we go. That is pretty much it for the infamous 50-1 live stream. That is the 6-0 victory for Zero Limits against Vice Cup in round 5 of the 2020 tournament. So obviously, overall, a massive GG's is definitely in order. Congratulations to Zero Limits for pulling off these amazing plays and comebacks with some of the most ridiculous hype implied as well. You guys definitely showed Zio who's boss right now. That's all I could say. Absolute congratulations to Zio. Massive claps up. Starlight Zero vanquishes both with the heals though. he made the shots count. So that's pretty much that. Now we're gonna I wanna go ahead and search up I'm gonna search up a specific channel because I wanna look at the highlight with the reactions. So also guys, please don't Please don't rant me if I'm going back to this channel again. I think it's this one over here. I do wanna watch this because I love this I love the montage here. It's at least the good side of the ZL days. Obviously, you know, the plays are definitely the best that ZL has made as the days go by. We had a lot of really strong players and a lot of potential new and up-and-comers now becoming legends in their own rights. Everyone had forged their legacies together. You know, Moon, Legacy would be proud if he saw this. Because we definitely pushed ZL to its limit and proved that we have no limits. It's just like when Vegeta said a Saiyan's power has no limits. I could definitely say the same thing for ZL. Memories of the clan have definitely aged into a new era of domination. And even though things have changed with the new instances of the newer clans now coming in, let's just say it's safe to say that we were the ones that started the new trend of introducing the English side. And we have a lot of other future clans coming in like SV and Exiled and so many more of the English community bringing together to creating the English side of the community for the clan matches. It's not just Spanish, it's English and Spanish together. We have held our ground and now the world knows. Obviously, for the history of ZL, we've been through so much times together. Good or bad, we made a lot of great memories. And even though most of us are now divided, most of us that is, are now pursuing bigger and better things, we are able to make the most of it. ZL has been one hell of a great year, it has been.
This is Vice, by the way.
Okay guys, here's the reaction. Here was the reaction, you guys. Take a look, everyone.
I don't know, I think they did.
Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that, my bad. I'm gonna turn up the volume so that you guys can hear it. This is your reactions, you guys.
Oh my gosh, did we get the O? Did we get the O? Did we really? I think it was one. I think it was one. Someone did. Who the fuck was that? Damn it.
Oh man.
Ah, shit. Fuck. Oh, shit.
Those.
That was, yo, okay.
That's devastating.
That was just nothing but absolute slaughter on what you guys did ever since. I'm just so grateful you guys added that in on the tribute. I really wanted to hear your reactions since I wasn't there in the party to witness it happen. Oh my god. Just 1 point and they couldn't get anything. I could just rewatch this like reaction for days and I would never get bored of it. We literally at this point Zio literally broke Vice to the max. Oh my god. This was honestly that was definitely the ultimate tribute that we could ever do for ZL. I'm gonna go to their clan right now if you guys want to take a look. Because every single we have a playlist where we're able to let me go to their playlist. Like we had a playlist we're able to go to our official matches. Every single one of these matches, except the final and the Fall of the Champions, we literally 6-0'd every single clan. Like every single official match we did, we 6-0'd them. Therefore, unfortunately, Vice wasn't able to get the perfect 36-0 on the tournament that they participated in, but ZL was definitely able to pick up the roots, and we pulled it off. A 36-0 victory in all, I think it's like all 6 rounds of the 2020 summer tournament. That's like ultimate perfectionist right there. Man, and also I'm gonna go and honestly I want to talk to you guys about the Zero Limits versus Vice Club finale, which was definitely one of ZL's most viewed videos by today, and arguably one of the most controversial, but one of the most hype. This was where hype was at its peak, and it's been cranked up to 12. So this was the grand finale. ZL was able to best against SL, and Vice was able to best SKS. We definitely did kick some major A, you guys. We definitely fought tooth and nail to see if we can get our first ever championship. Obviously enough, it definitely had its standards. So we're gonna head to some of the major highlights. It was definitely one of the most viewed videos ever since the decade. And already enough, we are already dominating as much as we possibly can. I'm putting the auto ping to 720. So we're looking at the grand final, you guys. So this is definitely one of the biggest highlights of the day. I participated in it. It was definitely the most. It was definitely the most craziest thing we would have ever done to this day. Before we did the fall of the champions friendly. Hope you guys are all watching this with me because this definitely had its hype and its moment. It's like this was like freaking playing Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 in Evo of 2020. This is like we're in Evo, man, and I loved it. As you can tell right now, Vice is definitely losing the ground. I'm pretty sure Vice definitely they brought in their all-out lineup, and obviously, the one scummish thing I'll say about them is because they really cannot get any other rematches because they're gonna lose their best players after this tournament. So of course, this was the disappointing part, and I'm gonna leave it to the end. So it's definitely one of the craziest. It was definitely one of the craziest grand finales we've ever played. It has been an all-out slaughter and scramble. As you can tell right now, the Zeal is definitely able to take complete control over Bell, and they're just 2 orbs away from taking the first game of 6. And I think all they just need is just a few of these. Try not to, just try not to vanquish them. Yeah, nice. That's game. Excellent work. So that's game 1 of 6. Zeal is up 1. Now, okay, now, Moon, if you're still watching the stream, I'm pretty sure you had a major highlight in game number 2 in Gnome Bomb. Moon had a really cracked highlight here. I'm so grateful to have witnessed it happen. Now, Gnome Bomb in Time Park is definitely a hit and miss because Rome is hell for plants. And obviously, it's not good going there because you can definitely lose point real fast. We're now transitioning to the, yeah, obviously, Rome for plants is no good, because zombies can just defend Rome like their life depends on it, and it just works. Like, it just works, so I feel so bad for for ZL to lose point A. So, as you can tell right now, Vice is unfortunately up 1, so at this point, Zeo has to at least tie the game so that they can at least trigger overtime. And as you can tell, Vice is trying to make sure not that happens. And also, by the way, there are multiple Iron Citrons because this tournament did not imply restricting Iron Citrons only to 1. So keep that in mind. It was crazy. I know it's not a national sport. I know it's not a national sport. I just made it up. I just made like the evil stuff up. I know it's not legitimate, but it just kind of felt like it for me. It's like there actually is a player that is actually using the underscore FGC, and FGC does stand for the fighting game community. So kind of some parts of me wondering like maybe it just kind of felt like that, you know? Sorry about that. So we're now at the part where how do I say it? Yeah, we're now at the part where overtime can really get into play. I'm gonna go ahead and skip all the way to overtime because there's not a lot of major highlights. It's just definitely like a lot of back and forth fails and pushes because zombies can just hold their ground as hard as possible, and you want to cut off all their escape routes, which I think they were able to do. Oh, the Iron Citrus just got ruined. Yeah, obviously, Iron Citrus are definitely the most tanky. It's a good thing that in the newer tournaments now, they restricted it up to 1 iron only, because 3 is kind of overkill, and the plants were able to get the most value out of that. Nice feed. Alright. What are we looking at right now? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip. Obviously, if they're gonna go back and forth in No Mom, obviously you want to definitely replenish your defenses because you want to make sure everything is in all clear. Unfortunately, Kwan's got the spider citron leg glitch. That's a permanent glitch. We can't fix that. So let me go ahead and skip. I think this is overtime, is it? No, we're almost at the overtime. All right, here's the overtime part. So I'm skipping to overtime currently, so you guys can see most of the crazy stuff happened in overtime during round 2. everybody was just getting everyone was just getting yeeted, KO'd. Everything was going crazy. It was not a pleasant time. Like everyone was just getting spammed to no end. It was brutal. It was the most brutal thing to have ever came into history. Now, yeah, they're probably gonna escape the portal, right? Yeah, they did. Now, hello. Oh, hey, Starfire, welcome. Yeah, I know. Probably best if you're not interested into it. I mean, that's fine. I mean, most of my subscribers here would know it, but I don't think you would, Starfire. But hmm. hmm. Oh yeah, Blitz. I'm actually using Streamlabs, so transitions can now apply. I remember remember that you sent me a comment when I was doing my second live stream. You were like, no. I remember you sent me a comment. That was a live comment, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to like over here. I'm trying to find the highlight. Oh, here we go. Mm-hmm. Oh, apparently. Oh, wait. Let me go back. Oh, yeah. This was no. This ain't capture the flag. This is apparently like, this is basically like a search and destroy Starfire. So like you basically get like a powerful like item that allows you to destroy specific vantage points on the map, and then just destroy all three of them. So, oh wait. So is this the part? Is this the part where Vice? I think this is the part where Vice was complaining that that we did a respawn. And apparently that was against the rule, but like when they did, it, I was like, oh, that's fine. You can, it's a free game. Just SMH my head when they did it. I don't know if this part of the I don't know if this part of this tournament, I don't know if any of them implemented the ambush strat in Egypt spawns. I don't think they ever did. They probably never did until as the years went by. Let me go here. So if I recall correctly, it's a bit of a hit or miss clusterfest right now. Everyone was just getting spam. Moon gets the freaking bomb and she's able to plant it, giving us the victory over Vice in round 2 of 6. I'm pretty sure Moon was screaming. So like Moon, I really need. I had to probably talk to you in some other way, but yeah. So 2-0 victory against Vice in the grand finals of the 2020 summer tournament. That was definitely hype. Excellent work. So we're now heading on to game 3 of 6, which is Zimbabwe. Now this is the part where Vice was definitely able to fight back and actually relent. But what they did, even though they were able to make a powerful push, they literally left themselves with one major flaw that thought they could get away with, but for us we cannot, since they'll probably like go ham on the leaders for that verification. Now, Vice back then really excelled on attack because everything had been defense, and counter spam. Because from that point on, you definitely want to make sure you do not get KO'd no matter how many times you can, and you want to make sure you stay on point as much as possible. So obviously, as you can tell, points we're going to be. So if you guys haven't known Turf, you basically have to capture the objective in an expanding map. And the trick for, I guess, for friendlies or for officials, you want to capture as many objectives as possible than the other team. Score more to win the game, to get 2 points. Because Turf gives you 2 points, where all the other remaining modes just gives you 1. So as you can tell, this is not going to be easy for ZL. There has been challenges for ZL to go through, and of course, Vice would never stop pushing. That's when you know Vice is really desperate. Like they're desperate and they're that dedicated to winning the tournament to at least get like a 6-star. We wanted to win. Like ZL wanted to get another championship, like our first ever championship. So let me look at all the other stuff here. So obviously defending the points are definitely hard because there hasn't been like a lot of restrictions. Like I think you could have like a total of like 2 Twilights, you could have 3 Iron Citrons. So obviously it's gonna be really spammy for plants. Zombies, I think there's the only restriction is that you can only have 1 Party Brains and 1 Reg. But like I think Shrimps are still free games, so obviously it's gonna be a bit of a hellscape. Now, was this the part? Yeah, this is yeah, everything has been not a good start for ZL, and what Shadow's doing is apparently what I like to call the hidden Shadow strat, where if you get teleported on this side over here, you can definitely shoot it down for free. But it had its moment on having a really good intercept, but until then, they started knowing about it, and eventually they started to, implement countermeasures to make sure that doesn't come into play. So obviously, it's not. Obviously, that had its moment, but it was not meant to play. So obviously, Vice was able to capture all the way up to objective 3 easily and fast. This is gonna be hard. They wouldn't say winning the championship would be that easy, but they remember that they're up 2-0, so they can. So for as long as they can get more points than them, they'll be fine. And they're at a pretty good lead, and the pressure is literally on Vice at that point. So, oh yeah, I forgot I was playing Soldier. I was tasked to just destroy TP as much as I possibly can. So, yeah, obviously it's going to be extremely hard. They captured up to objective 4, and now we're up to objective 5. And honestly, the train yard is a bit of a hit and miss because sometimes you got to rely on the train to defend your pushes. But unfortunately, it didn't work out well. Vice was able to get the successful push and push all the way up to Zombot. Now this was the danger point. Now this was like we're hitting danger levels of territory. We have to not let Zombot like die because if they do, then we have to technically destroy Zombot in a faster time. But what was their major downfall was that apparently they actually did more respawning than we did. We only respawn once, I think, on Gnome, but they respawn like probably 5+ times to refresh their abilities to get a head start on destroying Zombot faster. And apparently, this is where we entered into the more scummish side of Vice because they really are that desperate to winning a championship because they're gonna be losing their strongest players if you want some inside scoop. But when we did the respawn, they were like, "Oh wait, can you give it? No, no, you can't respawn. Give us the point. You broke a rule." But then when they did it, it was like, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine. Respawning is allowed." I can't believe they literally went to a complete 180 for that to happen. And obviously, I'm pretty sure most of the hate was now being directed to Vice because they really wanted to win a championship before they started to downgrade on their players and their best, like for their best lineups. Like this was definitely Vice's best lineup that they could bring for this grand final here. Like there's been plenty of respawning and a lot of character switches that Vice had to do to see if they can destroy Zombat fast enough. And I'm not trying to say this in spite of Vice, despite that they literally were acting kind of scummish during that tournament. It's not. I'm not trying to hate on them, but why would you act yourselves this way? I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward a few things. I don't know where the respawning really happened. I need to look at parts where Shadow was still alive since he was streaming it. Yeah, you can't go ZL. I'm not ZL. You can't go Z7 because Z7 is banned. Let's see. 50 seconds on the map. I know there has been respawning, but I don't remember the timestamp on where they respawned. But I'm aware that they did. We were notified. We were notified. Like the rule set. Oh wait, there it is. There it is. You may not see the name, but it's apparently Vice Manny actually did respond to get a Gatling faster charged enough so that they can destroy more, so they can get more damage on the visas. So that's against the rule, because it literally was there to get more value in destroying Zombots. So of course Vice broke the rule, but they were apparently rebutting saying that it's fine. But of course they were ranting when we were the ones that do it. So don't literally make it fit your favor but not ours, which is what I don't like. Oh, I put it to low volume. I I put it to mute. My bad. So yeah, they were respawning up a storm. So they were unable to destroy Zombot. So obviously for us in this case, for ZL, they have to destroy Zombot to make sure we get the 4-0. But it was not going to be easy. Hell, it never was. And by the way, the respawning, this portion of the respawning that broke the rule, this came like I believe a few days after this grand final was live. So we're gonna go ahead and reset ourselves all the way to game number 4, where ZL is the one that's capturing. You have to technically destroy Zombot in order to score the victory. But obviously, Vice is definitely going to be extremely defensive, and they're going to try to make sure they don't like get the progress that they need. So like every point that they have to defend, they have to do it. Otherwise, it's going to be game over for them. So we did get the first point. I think we were all iron. Yeah, all of us were playing iron. Like me, Quan, and Fuba. I think we were all assigned iron. Because 3 iron citrons was apparently fair during that time until everyone realized how unfair it was because of the insane health. And you know how busted iron is, right? So Honestly for defense, Vice kind of outclassed ZL there, but we were still able to push as much as we possibly could before we eventually inevitably failed. But it's not too bad because we were able to get a very strong push and were able to get some good progress on the point. We eventually were able to capture up to point two. Now point three was coming up, and the Disco Diner was definitely notorious for being one of the hardest areas in Zombopolis in friendly standards. So we're now heading off to here. Teleporter on the right side is not a good sign because it's so easy to destroy, and like that teleporter just went kaboom in an instant after it was built. Obviously, you definitely want to diverge your attention to make sure you can at least go for a push while they all focus on TP. And that going for TP is like you have to make sure you can optimize as many resources as you can to building TP. Like the mech focusing on the rail so that they don't build TP. And I'm very sorry if the quality is not the best because some parts of the internet were not the best when they were live streaming it. So we're gonna continue going through here. They're able to capture up to objective 4, which is excellent. Objective 4 is indeed another hard location to capture, and I think we got the worst side. TP on the left in plant viewpoint is not good. Like right is slightly a lot better, but I mean left I think is a lot better because it's harder to get ZBGs on. But unfortunately, we kind of hit our downfall here. We were unable to get the pushes we need, even though we tried our hardest. We were unable to capture up to objective 4, but luckily little did we know that it was safe to say that Vice apparently wanted to play dirty but try to hide it behind a mask. So we're looking at here. I'm gonna keep fast forwarding it, so I'm very sorry if it's kind of a skip. We were able to get a really good strong push, but a lot of us had fallen, so that was our like a good rebuttal for them. We tried our best to go for a push, but unfortunately we failed. But little did they know is that this would actually be their last. They were able, so it's considered a 2-2 tie. It's anybody's game right now. So we're now heading on to game 5 of 6, which is it's Suburbanation Coliseum. Coliseum tends to be a lot like it tends to be more plant-sided than you think because the spam that the plants can do can definitely outclass the zombies in terms of like keeping like any zombies like contributing and capturing points. So obviously, capturing middle is a number 1 diehard requirement, but you want to make sure you at least get more points and try to disrupt the flow of their score. So obviously, Zio kind of lacked the capture that we needed, and of course, it was extremely hard for us to make intercepts at the time. It was so predictable and so easy. Oh shoot, I was hitting the wrong tab. Yeah, obviously this wasn't Zio's best suit. We tried to make a comeback. We even got a Suburbanation, but somehow I think Vice was definitely able to catch up and get a Suburbanation of their own, or just neutralized all of the points that we couldn't get any score at all, while they were the ones getting score. So unfortunately for us, Vice definitely took round 5. I'm gonna fast forward it to the end. Yeah, Vice took round 5 of 6, so it's now currently 3-2. We're losing by 1, and if we lose the final game on Aqua Center, then Vice Club wins the championship. And we're not gonna let them off without a fight. And that's what we did. Now, knowing Aqua Center on Vanquish confirmed, which is game 6 of the mixed mode playlist, this is a very plant-oriented side map. Because knowing how small the map really is, it was so easy to get a lot of free spam, and the zombies are not able to counter that unless they do like really good nade plays. Which unfortunately did not, and we already got a hot start and get a massive feed and pick up all the orbs and the wreckage left behind. So obviously this was going to be extremely hard for Vice to make the comeback, but they're definitely still able to fight back because this is literally championship point for Vice if they win this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue fast forwarding to like maybe over here. Like this is a really close game. Normally the games tend to be a bit of a landslide, but for here, it has been really close. And this is reminiscent to when it was like Supreme Virus versus Suicide Legion Clan when I did the 2021 tournament. Like I think maybe 5 months ago, like that live stream. This is reminiscent to when they did it and how SV won. In this case, it really was it was really neck and neck, and we definitely fought our hardest. I could say the same thing to Vice too. But we didn't know how much respect we would give until we would eventually shut it all away after some uncoverings that the leaders have found, and also we also found. We were really battling because this is very plant oriented map. Obviously, the main strat for Aqua Center, you definitely want to keep the middle part here. Like the middle part of life, nice one, Shadow, with that quad bomb. That's definitely breaking their stats in half. Even though they're gonna deny all the orbs, you're definitely able to at least disrupt their forces and able to claim middle for yourselves. So well done. It's 37 to 31 currently, and now we are taking control of top. This is definitely where we're definitely gonna force a tie. And of course, Shadow's gonna try to hide. Yeah, obviously, this is reminiscent to when if the games are like this close to ending, you typically want to hide from either the theater or from the building because remember, you do not want to give them orbs, so it's gonna be that. Let's go ahead. All right, so you're gonna toss a beam bomb and see what happens. And it didn't do any damage, so but we were able to get a really good feed. I think we got an orb, and we're just one orb away from victory, I think. Yeah, okay, so at that point on, it was safe to say that ZL won round 6, so apparently the final score was indeed 3 to 3 and it was a tie. But now this was where the questionable part came in. Would we do a rematch or would we battle it out in Moonbase Z? And remember that apparently Vice did make the rule set that anti-gravity maps are banned and Moonbase Z is an anti-gravity map. So henceforth, why we didn't we tried to stay, but we noticed that the map was coming up, and we didn't even bother playing and just end the stream there. So the controversial part was that who the heck was gonna win the championship, but I want to look at the messages over here because yeah, I'm looking at the yeah, that's the thing. Like if you look at some of the comments over here, okay. Okay, so I know. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to eat dinner after I take a bit of a break. So obviously I'm looking at messages right now, and yeah, Clan Matches Rewind Edition. So obviously we had this comment is literally the perfect embodiment of what ZL really wanted. Like we didn't want our championship to be given. We wanted to like earn the championship. So like we really wanted a rematch, but Vice of course refused. And then this is probably the part where I realized this is where Vice's like arrogant side or cheap side, as I like to nickname it, on this part of the tournament. I know they changed ever since that. They really wanted to get the championship because their best players are gonna leave after the how do I say it, like after they got the point. So of course, so this is the bottom. There's only one championship, and we wanted a rematch. But what they did, this bottom part is highlighted, and of course, they asked for points. They wanted to give away the point because we respond in no bomb, which of course we know we kind of broke a rule, so we gotta admit that. But they broke a rule in responding in turf. So originally enough, the final score would have been 4 to 2, and we would have immediately we were on the side of winning the championship fully. But of course, Vice took the arrogant side and wanted to. They really wanted to get the championship because their best guys were gonna leave. So it's gonna be the disappointing factor. So I'm terribly sorry that the Vice clan was kind of ended this tournament in a really petty note. That they really went the cheap way out to winning the championship because they really wanted to win it, and we just wanted to. It wasn't worth winning the championship if it was earned. We would rather fight for it. So it was kind of upsetting how it happened, but at the end of the day, we were considered champions. We got the victory. We won the 2020 Zero Limits won the 2020 Summer Tournament. We definitely made a statement with our perfect 36-0 in the official round of the tournament. We decimated against SL in the semifinals, and we were able to at least win. We were able to at least get the victory in the grand finals due to majority vote and a couple of uncovering findings, and also by the community. Yeah, by the community majority vote, as well as a couple of hidden rule breaks that apparently Vice literally tried to take advantage of, but eventually it didn't end out in their favor. So at the end of the day, Vice unfortunately are considered joint champions, which is a disappointing factor. But we have to, for as long as we won the championship, then I guess that's fine. I mean, I was reluctant at first, but like I didn't mind winning a championship because we did so much. Like we really did so much to get the victory here, and we were able to. We did all we could. So like we don't want to feel disappointed that we wish it didn't end it out to be this way, but unfortunately it did because I'll say it again, Vice really wanted to win a championship, which kind of sucked. I mean, we'll give them credit that they wanted to fight and we liked it, but like remember we wanted a rematch since we got a tie until a few days later after that we noticed that they broke the rules and eventually they relied on They broke a rule. They broke a rule worse than we did. Like we respawned in Gnome just to change abilities, which kind of sucked. But they respawned just to destroy Zombot faster, and that's a bigger difference. So obviously, Vice broke a bigger aspect of that rule specifically because respawning is not allowed, even though we did respawn in Gnome. But even if they did, we would have still have won because they respawned in Turp, and Turp is worth 2 points. So normally enough, we would have been a victory for 4-2. So all in all, I think it's safe to say by majority vote and after rewinding the footage and reviewing like both like perspectives, it's safe to say that that the true champions of the 2020 summer tournament definitely goes to Zero Limits. So congratulations to Zero Limits for being the 2020 Plants vs Zombies Going On for Two Summer Champions. We definitely put the world on lock, and remember, if it wasn't for ZL, then if it wasn't for ZL, then there hadn't been possibly no FS or Exiled or Kill Road or Supreme Virus or any of the future like English clans. What's it called? For like English clans. Yeah, for introducing the English clan scenery to the competitive aspect of this game, because most of the tournaments have always been freaking Spanish, which is kind of unfortunately true. So at this point, I'm probably gonna call off today's stream. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's live stream of my 2020 summer tournament review for Garden Warfare 2. Zeal definitely made its breaking point. We definitely made names. We definitely were able to successfully win and become the most dominant clan in the summer. And we are still going strong to this day since ZL is still existing now in 2022 as a new tournament is going to be coming up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your weekend. If you guys haven't already and you guys are new here, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. All your support is indeed greatly appreciated. I try my hardest and my best to at least give you guys a lot of fun content for all of your entertainment to see. And I would definitely appreciate all the support by giving some likes and subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace out. And before I end off the stream, why don't you guys go ahead and guess the song? I'm gonna give you guys a song to play. I'm gonna play a song, and I want you guys to guess it. Let me play one right now currently. Uh, Let me see. I want to find a good song that I could listen to. Come on, man. There's a lot. I think I might have downloaded it before. Ah, there we go. Is it muted?